for another week of 10-minute tips for your relationships. 10 minutes. So I'm back, or we're back, and we're here to just bring some more information and enlightenment to couples, to people in relationships. And like I always say, this information that we have, it's not just for couples, it's not for intimate couples, but it's for all relationships, really. I mean, communication and all kinds of things that we talk about, it really can benefit your entire family or just whatever relationship that you may find yourself in. So today we want to talk about apologizing and what that means in a relationship. Now today we're talking about marriage, but we want to talk about, how does apologies, how do they really show up in relationships? And so I know for the both of us, in early on, we've been married 35 years, right. And so early on, it was really difficult to apologize, because when you think about it, when you think about apologizing, you're basically saying that you were wrong. At least that's what you think in your mind,
right? That
you're saying that
right.
You were wrong,
right?
Admission
to
wrong or admission to guilt or whatever
right.
it may be, And so sometimes it's really not about admitting that you're wrong about something, but just saying that sometimes I apologize for the way I spoke,
right?
Or maybe not so much I apologized and I was wrong, but maybe the way I gave you the information or the way I spoke to you in
right.
delivery
right.
was wrong.
Not always the what, but sometimes the how.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I know for me, early on in the relationship, it was very difficult for me to apologize. And I don't think it had anything to do with how I felt about you or how I felt about myself, but I think it had a lot to do with pride.
Yeah. As you were saying that, I was just kind of thinking and formulating in my mind that I can say for myself, it was about winning.
Oh, okay.
And it was a personal win.
Yeah.
I like the W. I want to win the argument.
Right.
I want to end, win it. But one thing we discovered is you can win a battle or a scrimmage and lose the marriage.
Exactly.
And we learned that early on. So it's about the marriage winning, not me winning, but us winning.
Us winning.
And there is no I in team.
No I in team.
So it really, if we want to get to that W and start winning, we got to really, it's about self-denial. We talked about before, some say marriage is 50-50, but we believe it's 100-100. Mm-hmm. One day you're 20 and I'm 80, and vice versa. It can go or 10-90 or 50-50 some days, or 40-60, but depending on who's where at the time, we need to learn how to just, submit ourselves and say, hey, you know what, I blew it, I missed it. I mean, the other day we had one where it's like, you actually called me and said, hey, I apologize.
Yeah, I did do that.
The way I said it, the way and I was like, wow, that is just so wonderful. I can't wait to get home and kiss you and hug you, because I was feeling some kind of way.
Sure.
But, the fact is you warmed up, if you will, and own it. I think the whole thing is about owning it, own it.
Yes.
Taking ownership of it. And I really appreciate that. I really do. I want y'all to know after 35 years, we still are working on it.
That's right.
It takes work.
That's right.
Marriage is work.
I think that with apologies, verbalizing your apology to your mate, to that person, is really letting them know that you recognize, the wrong, or you recognize the fault, or you recognize them as a person. And I think it's just really important that, we show our mate that we recognize that maybe we were at fault.
Right.
Or we recognize that maybe, we made them feel some type of way.
Right.
I knew when you left here that day, you felt some type of way. And it really wasn't even, I don't think what happened was so much about me just doing something wrong.
Right.
But like you said, it was about the way I handled or said what I said.
Right.
I think that because I made you feel a certain way,
right.
it bothered me.
Right.
And I wanted him to know that I recognized that when he left here, he felt some type of way. And so that's why I was willing to not wait till you got home, because I didn't want you. Here's the thing, I didn't want him to sit in that. Ooh. I knew how he felt. Ooh. And I did not want him sitting in that, because I knew that the way I came off, it wasn't very pleasant. Right. And I knew that you were going to be gone for a certain length of time. Right. And I didn't want you to sit in that and have to feel that the entire time that you were gone. So that's why I did that.
And it's amazing because by nature, because we fight with nature and who we are as a person, no matter how forgiving and spiritual we try to be, our nature and my inkling is to be a revengeful person. It really is. Mm-hmm. So I had to fight revenge. I was like, no, don't retaliate. Don't go back. No, honestly, that's why I didn't react at the time. I want to respond later, but not react. Right. And it was better for me to pull back. Now, some people can handle it right then on the spot. They feel they can. I have to go back, rethink it, process it, recall it. What was really happening? Yeah. What made her respond that way? Because we didn't get 35 years. I mean, she's not just mean to me on purpose but there was so much going on that day. There was a lot going on. You had other pressures. She's working from home now. Right. And sometimes, even before we did this, there was a lot going on with her job situation that she had to handle. And, we're trying to get other things in place and in function, and people, hey, stay still, we got to do this, do that, record, and it was really a tense situation. So I had to back up and say, wait a minute, you tripping. You tripping. You were, I had to come and, I'm sorry. Right. I have to say I'm sorry to you right now because, I was getting impatient and things were going on, it just, life, it can just be complicated if you allow it to be.
If you allow it to be. Yeah. So here's the other thing too that I think about us in our relationships, being willing to apologize, is that it builds the trust. It builds the trust.
Because I can trust you with my feelings.
Exactly. So I can trust you with my feelings, and I can trust that you will acknowledge me. And I also trust that you can acknowledge when you are wrong. Right. And so, it does. It rolls right over into all those emotions and everything that that we're dealing with on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. So, I thought about that. I said, you know what? It really wasn't worth you feeling the way you did. And it was something really minor but major. Right. Not that we're sharing everything, but it was minor but major. Right. And I knew that I had to come clean. And I want you to be able to trust me with your emotions.
No, and it was heartfelt. I could tell when I heard your voice, your demeanor, your whole, and like I said, body language, tone, tenor, all that, temperature, with the 4 T's we have. Yeah, right. Temperature, timing, temperature, your tone, and the total picture. Boom, 4 T's. Remember those 4 T's? Yeah. And it was so perfect. It was just, and where I was inside of the store, it was just a perfect moment. I was alone. Someone was with me, but I was alone at the time. And it ministered to me. Wow. The way you said it, it ministered to my spirit, because I was hurt and wounded, but how do I deal with this? Because I don't want a big blow up. I don't want a big fight. We've never been that way anyway. No. Police never had to come and break us up. No black eyes, missing teeth, anything like that. So, we never been that way, violent with each other. But still, it's just the fact that woundedness is woundedness, no matter how you look at it. Right. But, man, I appreciate you even thinking that way, and just, attacking it and dealing with it. I really do. Yeah. And it's heartfelt. I'm not doing this because we're on camera, but it's the real deal. It's love.
I know back in the day that I would wait. I would wait. I would wait until, you got home, to admit my fault or, to apologize, and maybe even a day or two. That's not cool. Think about it. And everything that we're talking about is just based on, us being, like we say, hunkered in. I know things are loosening up now, but yet still, a lot of what we are learning as couples while we were at home together for long periods of time are things that we need to take into the relationship when we're released.
Wow.
When we're set free from,
Wow.
being at home.
Right.
And so apology is important. Apology builds trust in your relationship.
Definitely.
An apology is something that's necessary. And so I want to admonish you, all you couples, continue to apologize. And if you don't apologize, make sure that you do apologize to one another. You can't lose.
Right.
You cannot lose with an apology. These are my 10-minute tips. Take care, stay safe, and until they release us, stay at home.